Scum. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Scum aims to evolve the multiplayer open world survival game with unprecedented levels of character customization, control and progression, where knowledge and skill are the ultimate weapons for long-term survival. Yes guys, Scum is finally here. There's a lot of people like myself been really looking forward to playing this game. Yeah, it's early access, but some early access games are really fun. Some early access games are playable. Some early access games are pretty far into their development. Unfortunately guys, Scum isn't one of them. This reminds me a lot of the initial release of H1Z1, which I reviewed on day one a few years ago and regretted it, so I had to re-release a review a few days later because the game was in such a shit state. And Scum, I thought, right, I'm not going to review this when it comes out, I'll give it a few days, so I've given it 5 days. It's had multiple patches since it launched, and I started playing it 5 days in, well, 4 days in. And my goodness, if this is the patched version, I would have fucking hate to have played this on day one, because the game is pretty much unplayable and totally broken in its current state. How it's just got mixed on Steam, I do not know. It should be mostly negative. In fact, it should be 100% fucking negative, because guys, this game is an absolute mess. It's clear to say that this game is not about single player. It's all targeted about multiplayer. You can have a PvE server, you can play single player, but the big question about that is, why would you? Because the AI, the whole way the game is, offers nothing for the single player experience. It will get boring so fast. This game's about pitting yourself against other players in a huge, gorgeous, may I add, multiplayer environment. This map is massive. It's about 40 minutes to walk across it. It looks gorgeous during the day, not so gorgeous at night. The way nighttime comes in is just another. It's just another bug. It's just that's fucking hell, guys. I could go on for hours about the bugs in this game. It is early access, yes, but that does not mean that it should be released like this. I mean, at least make it fucking playable, you know. And the big problem with this is that it's just not playable in multiplayer. Whenever you come across other players, the lag, the netcode, warping and teleporting around is just a joke, an absolute joke. It just makes multiplayer pretty much impossible. I mean, I've played it on a 64-player server, a 10-player server, and a 27-player server, and as much as the lag is way worse on a 64-player server, you still do get lag on the lower populated servers. Not as bad, but when you have 27 players in a world the size of this, good luck finding anybody at all to have a fight with. So it's kind of utterly flawed at the moment. You have to play on the 64-player servers if you want some PvP action. And when you find the PvP action, you can't actually do anything because the netcode is so bad. So the game is broken. It's not worth actually playing at the moment. There's so many bad things about this game that I can't possibly mention them all. From, you know, chopping down trees. It's just like version 1 of Minecraft. It looks so bad. The guy, when he's chopping the trees down, he looks like he can't be arsed. He's just like, oh, whatever. Oh, another fucking game where you punch trees. Oh, the fucking hell, you know. And he's just kind of half-heartedly waving his axe around in the vicinity of a tree, you know, waiting for it to just, what the f***. Then there's the dancing, moonwalking, handbrake turning bears that they can't even navigate to you, guys. They're just fucking about. I mean, the blue line you're seeing on the screen is the trajectory line if I threw my spear at it, but I couldn't throw my spear for fucking laughing at it. It's just awful. Then there's the stuff that's been made on purpose that make no sense. For example, the crafting. And this isn't a bug, this is by design, guys. This is a game where when you craft something, your guy will automatically throw it on the floor. Imagine you're in the world of survival. You've made it. You picked up a stone and you're sharpening it into a stone knife. When you're finished, you don't go, yes, this stone knife. I've been looking to make something like this, so I'll just throw it away. That's what you do in this game. You literally throw it away, and you have to then search the ground to pick it back up. It's ridiculous. Every time you have something in your hand, if you pick something else up, you'll just pretty much throw it away. If you don't have any room in your backpack, just throw it away. The amount of weapons I've lost because of this retarded fucking system in this game, it is unfucking believable. Do you know what? I climbed a tree house. There was a tree house, and I climbed the tree house using the ladder. I got up there, and at the top of the tree house was a knuckle duster, and I thought, oh, I'll have that. So, and a knuckle duster, for some reason, this tiny little piece of metal that fixes over your knuckles takes 2 bag slots. I mean, what the fuck?
So I couldn't put it in my bag. So I thought, right, oh, no worries, I'll just put it on my hand and climb down the ladder. Every time I grabbed the ladder, he would take the knuckle duster off and throw it on the floor. No, we can't climb a ladder with a knuckle duster on. Why? Why the can't you climb a ladder with a fucking knuckle duster on? I mean, what the So that knuckle duster had to be left at the top of that fucking treehouse because there was no way I could get it down. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. If you want a drink of water, if you've got anything in your hand, you'll throw it away when he goes to drink water. Why don't you get a prompt, at least a fucking prompt, to say, hey, look, you've got no room in your backpack, what do you want to do? Because then we can do a little bit of inventory management and put the precious thing that we've got in our hands, it could be a pistol or something, in a safe place. But oh no, he just throws it away like you would in real life. Of course you would. What a pile of shit. I don't even like the whole way they've got the bags implemented in this game. It's just shite. It just really is shite. I could carry way more stuff than what these guys are carrying. I mean, they're talking about realism. I'm walking around villages and there's bin liners and bags everywhere. I could easily get a bag, put 3 or 4 bin liners inside each other and carry a shit ton of stuff. But oh no, he doesn't think of that, does he? No, he has to fuck about with these stupid little rags trying to make an improvised backpack until he can go and find a better one. And the way you do that, it is pretty easy to do. You just go to a military zone, which is like in Rust, where you have the radioactive zones where all the good loot is. They're guarded by these mechs, and so you have to sneak into the base, grab your shit, and get out. It isn't really that hard. If the mech does see you, he will have you. I have been killed a couple of times by them, but more often than not, you can just sneak in and get out with guns and all that. But it's one of them games, guys, where you have to find the bullets for the magazine and find the magazine for the gun and do it all that way. A bit like in 7 Days to Die, when you can craft your own bullets and stuff like that, which is good for an actual survival game. It also has a metabolism system, which I've never seen in a game before. This kind of takes survival to the next level with a metabolism system, which basically means when you eat food, it doesn't immediately, push your hunger bar up. When you drink water, it doesn't immediately push your thirst bar up. This has to come in through your metabolism, and gradually over time, your stats will improve and your health will improve, which is nice, but we didn't need it. I was quite happy with the other method of survival. I'd have much rather nobody had actually worked on that and you just put normal thirst and hunger bars in, and then spent the extra time that you had with them free fucking developers to actually fix the multitude of bugs in this game. There are far more pressing issues than the metabolism system. The character customization is, yeah, it's good that you can put stats into different things like that, and you can major in certain things like sniping or boxing or running or endurance and things like that. That's all good, I'm all for that, but the rest of the game is just trash. I mean, if I had to say the good things, yeah, it is the metabolism. Yeah, it is that the world looks fantastic, but it's empty. It's empty of players. It's empty of wildlife. And I didn't find the game fun at all. Here's a battle that I had with a guy. And it was so funny because he had a gun. All I had was a shovel. And I almost killed him. And he was trying to be all smart ass and clever, calling me a bitch as he shot us and all that. And then he came down to finish us off, and I just owned his ass with a shovel, and he had to run away. But the netcode, you have to kind of guess. You can't. It reminded me of the very, very early days of gaming on a 28.8 modem, when you had to kind of aim where you think the player actually is, because where he actually is in the game, he isn't actually there. And I think that's how I beat this guy so well with the melee combat, because he was not able to do that. And it's awful that you have to do that in 2018 in a game. I mean, I know it's early access. I keep saying this. It is early access. I'm convinced that when this game fully releases, you won't have to do any of that. But my argument is that it shouldn't be like that at this stage when it's based on multiplayer. The whole game is multiplayer, and that very aspect is broken. I mean, they should have at least fixed the netcode before they released this game, because it is predominantly a multiplayer game, and that part is broken. We've tried it single player, utterly boring. We've tried it in PvE, utterly boring. The only way to play this is multiplayer, and multiplayer is broken. Absolutely. There are events in games that are multiplayer, but again, you're getting lag, and it's just, it needs fixing. So, I'm thumbing this down, rightly so, because it's an absolute mess. It's a one to revisit, but not for a very long time, probably a year. So if you want to join in and help with the development, then go ahead and buy. It is a good idea, and I've got no doubt that in a year or two it might be one of the best survival games out there, but it needs so much work. So much work needs doing to it, and good luck to them with that. I hope you stick to it, and I hope you release a terrific game, because you have got a great idea and the world looks great. Shame about the rest.